Hello, welcome back to my channel, Silver Thread Sewing. I'm Diane. This is Friday Sews. So, it's Friday again, and as always, thanks to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting this hashtag and allowing us to share in it. Since last Friday, I've actually been more productive than usual. I don't remember if I've ever had like 4 things that I've made in a week's time to show you. So I'm kind of excited, but really when you start thinking about it, they're all pretty much the same things. So it's not as good as it sounds. I've made 4 things, but yeah, 3 of them are identical and 1 is by the same pattern. I'll show you. So last Friday, I had showed you my Love Notions Rhapsody top in this retro fabric that came from Fabric Mart Fabrics, and I think it's still my favorite. I just love this fabric and the way it turned out. But since then, the next one that I made was the same pattern. Since it was on my mind and the directions were kind of fresh in my head, I thought, and everything was already out on the table, and I thought, you know, I'm just going to cut out another one. So I actually cut out 2 more. I cut out one in this really pretty cotton lawn, and it is just such a pretty fabric, and that cotton just held that pleat so well. And I'll put in either a little video clip of me wearing it or a picture or something, but it's just as pretty as the first one I made, and I did it the same way. I just put the cuff on the bottom of the sleeve, but I didn't put any elastic in it. I still could if I wanted to, but sometimes the elastic bugs me if it's a little bit too tight, or it doesn't look as good if it's too loose. So not sure I would do that, but I could if I wanted to. I could still go in and add it. But this cotton just really worked up well. And it is from Fabric Mart Fabrics as well, but it's been in my stash for a while. I've really been I've bought a little bit of fabric that I've shown you, but I've been trying not to buy any more till I get my fabric kind of to a manageable amount, because it's also pretty and I loved it when I bought it, so I really want to use it, and I am making a dent in it. So I've got 1 more of these to show you, and it was in this crinkle challis that came from Fabric Mart Fabrics, and it was a darker color. I showed you, I think, that last week, and I did something different on this sleeve. This was the problem fabric that I wasn't sure how to treat because it had the crinkles in it. A couple of viewers suggested that I watch Whitney from Tomkat Stitchery, as she had done a video about using double gauze and how she treated it. I didn't know whether to press the wrinkles out or leave it crinkled up. Wrinkled. My mom always called it wrinkled. She said, I don't know about crinkles. It looks wrinkled to me. And she didn't like that because she was an ironer. She ironed everything. But I did watch the video by Whitney, and I'll try to link to it below in case you would like to see that. But she recommended pressing it, maybe not really, really flat, but she said that if you tried to cut it out crinkled up, that then when you started to wear it, and you know the heat from your body would cause the fabric to relax, then it might be too big and might look messy. So she did recommend pressing a little bit. I don't know that I would press it every time I started to wear it, but I might if it needs it, or if it felt a little bit tight. But I did this one just a little bit differently, and it's really hard to see here. I don't have anything to put behind it for you to see it, but I'll put the pictures in of me wearing it. I decided that I didn't want the little part that came here, and that's where the tie's attached and then the V. So I just kind of laid both pieces together and kind of flattened that out a little bit, and I just put bias binding around the whole neckline, and I didn't add the ties. And didn't really feel like that it needed it. But it is a really pretty fabric. And the sleeves, I decided not to put the band on. I barely had enough of this fabric. I only had 1.5 yards of it. and I really had to, I actually had to fold the fabric out widthwise and fold it up to get the sleeves cut. So I didn't cut the bands for it, but I decided that for some reason I do this. I decided last minute that I wanted to try shirring or shearing. I don't know how you say that correctly, but it's where you take the elastic thread and put in your bobbin and make the rows of stitching, and it gathers up what you're using it on. So with the Pfaff that I showed you the other day in my little sewing machine video, comparing it and showing you the features of some of the things that help me, that machine has a speed control on the bobbin winder. So what I'm able to do is turn the speed down as low as it will go, and it's just like hand winding your bobbin. So I was able to put this shirring elastic into the bobbin with my machine. And then I made these cute little sleeves. And all I did a narrow hem. I did a narrow hem around the very edge. And then I measured up 1 inch from the bottom and did 3 rows with the shirring elastic in the bobbin. And it was just regular, and I used black thread on the outside. And it gathered up those cute little sleeves. And I just thought that was so cute, and I definitely want to do that again on something. I'm addicted to it now. I want to put it on everything. But I just thought this is such a pretty fabric, and that's the back of it. And that's the little pleat in the back. So I was really happy with how that came out. And I will put the pictures in of me wearing it. Last thing to show you. I cut this out last week as well. And it is the Rhapsody Dress. And I'm not as happy with it as I am the Rhapsody tops, and I'll be honest about that because we're honest here about our successes and our not successes, our failures. Don't consider it a fail. I just don't know that it looks as good on me as it does other people, just because I'm wider through my hips than any other part. And I made the straight large all the way through. I probably could have graded out some at like below the waist, but I didn't. And I used this rayon poplin fabric, and it's just a little bit heavier than the challis. Well, quite a bit heavier actually than the challis, but still a rayon. And it was the really pretty, I showed you this I think in last Friday sews, but it wrinkles really bad. I've noticed that it wrinkles. And the sleeves, I did a short sleeve because I didn't have enough fabric to do anything but the short sleeve. But it kind of hangs funny, and you can see the inside of the sleeve under the arm when I'm wearing it. I've not quite finished it. The only thing I like, everything's hemmed and everything's done. I just haven't secured the elastic and closed that up yet, and I will, but I'm not sure if I want to make it a little tighter so it kind of stays up at my waist a little bit better, because at the way that I have it now, it's loose enough to where it kind of goes down, it kind of hangs down a little farther right at the top of my hips, and I think it just makes me look kind of wide, even wider than usual. So I'm not sure how I feel about this, but it's beautiful fabric and it's a beautiful dress pattern. And just to look at it, I think it is so pretty. But then when I put it on, I'm not sure it's my best look. But I'm happy with the pattern, and I think maybe if I tightened up the waist just a little bit, it might look better. But it just kind of looks sloppy, if I'm honest. It just, to me, the pleat holds up really well, but it is wrinkled, and it just kind of looked a little bit sloppy on me, I thought. But I probably need to try it on maybe with my slip and my normal stuff, and maybe my shoes that I would normally wear with the dress that have a little bit of a heel on them. and see if I like it better then. But it's a great pattern, and I just love the Rhapsody. I'm probably going to put it aside for now and make something else, just because I've made, you know, I've made 3 shirts and a dress. So I had the iris tee cut out before my serger went on the blink. And I also had just a little tank top cut out of black cotton jersey that I'm finishing up. I just have to do the neckband and the armbands on it. But I don't ever wear sleeveless, but I wanted that to like wear under another shirt when I needed black. And the iris tee is just my favorite t-shirt. So I'm making that one just in solid black to basically to wear, you know, maybe over a skirt or something, or with jeans or whatever. I don't wear a lot of black because we have a beagle and she's black, white, and brown. So her fur shows up really well on anything black, but I'll wear it when, you know, whenever I need to. I'll just wear it and take a little lint roller and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But that's all I had to share with you. It's not going to be a very long video today. Just wanted to share with you what I had made, and even though it is kind of the same thing over and over, but I probably am going to lay this one aside for a little while. But when I have a, you know, 1.5 yards or 2 yards of fabric that I don't know what to do with, this will be a great top pattern. So I'm going to probably start sorting through my patterns and get my sewing room kind of straightened up a little bit. And I have a play date next week with one of my friends, Joan. She had come over last week and we played here in the sewing room looking at stuff and talking about, she's really talented as far as fit and sewing, and she's a much more advanced sewer than I am. So we're going to have a play date maybe next week, and you know, hopefully I'll be able to go visit with her and she can show me some of her things. I think she has a projector and stuff, so that'll be fun, and I'm excited about that. But hope everybody's well, and just keep right on sewing. You'll never fail if you keep trying. See ya. Bye.